There is a beautiful Sanskrit wisdom. It says that Shariram Adyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam Shariram Mulamihi Sukham, which means that all your happiness in this world is basically to do with your physical health. Shariram Mulamhi Sukham. And all the happiness, all that you want to achieve in life, all that you want to experience in life, everything, it all starts with your physical beingness. Because we have come to the physical world. There's the astral world, and there are worlds beyond worlds. But when we come to this physical world where everything is materialistic, then this physical body becomes a matter of prime importance to all of us. And whatever we experience in life is definitely to do a lot with our physical body, our physical health, our physical existence, and our exclusive relationship with our own physical body. The other day I was discussing about a very important aspect which the seers and sages, the great scientists of life, had experienced in their highest state of yogic excellence. They found that this human body is only like the outer cell, the outer cluster. It's almost like if you have seen a sword. If the sword is put inside a case, then if I only see the outer case, and if I've never seen what is inside of it, then if I see it for a long time, that particular case, and not what is inside of it, obviously I'll start to believe that particular case is the sword. But then someday some wise one comes to me and says, sorry, my child, that is not what sword is. You have not seen the sword as yet. Then he takes the case and he just removes the actual sword out and shows. Now you see it, pratyaksh. Now you are able to see face to face the reality that all these years and years and years when it was as there, you only saw the outer case and you were told this is what the sword is, and you believed it and you have only identified that as your sword. So also this physical body that we are having, however greatly important this is in order to have happiness, pleasures of life, all the experiences of life at a very individualistic level. As an individual, if I have to experience the life, if I have to experience the cosmic vibrations, then this body is the outer, but at the same time very important. But however important this is only the outer case. We have not seen the sword as yet, because this outer has many other layers inside it. It's as if we are wearing many layers. When in winter time, you remember, when it's very cold, then we say we have 5 layers, 6 layers, 2 layers, 3 layers. So we have layers. And we can just take them off one after the other, the layers, or we can put them on one after the others. And each layer is separate from the other. But the one who is wearing these layers in winter is inside. That one is not these layers. So it is easy for us to understand that unless and until we try to ponder over this very basic foundational principle of life, we will not be able to realize why we have come on this earthly physical plane of existence. We'll only be seeing the superficials and then live a life of superficiality. And by superficiality, I mean the material or matter reality. We have not seen the existential reality, the deeper reality, the purer reality, which is hidden inside. So we were talking about different koshas the other day. One of the outside kosha that we all are seeing is the Annamaya kosha, which is the physical gross body, the matter. This is the matter. What we are seeing is the matter. It is the material manifestation. But then inside this matter body, we also have something subtler, and that is called Pranamaya kosha or Pranamaya kosha. This Pranamaya kosha is definitely subtler. It is not this gross material, it is subtler, and this Pranamaya kosha is the vital principle life force. This is animating every part of my body, starting from the neurons that is being fired to every cell of my body, to every molecule in my body, to every atom in my body. At every level, this prana is spread. The whole body, in different stages, the prana is working in 5 different levels of prana: apana, samana, vyana, udana. There are 5 different levels, and all these are managing this universe. Your body, my body, this body is a mini universe, and what you have in your body is what you have in the external infinite cosmos, myriad of universes. Your body is a mini form of that macro. If this is a micro, then that is the macro. If this is the mini, that is the maximum, infinite expansion of that same reality. Our body contains everything that this whole cosmos have in it. Scientists are awed as they go on researching with the different layers of our body. There were times they were more focused on the gross part, but as science is advancing, as more and more advancement is happening to the consciousness of humanity, as even the scientists are evolving in their consciousness, their mind is now triggered with some higher thoughts of exploring to the even deeper aspects of science, deeper aspects of particles, deeper aspects of material world, manifested world. And as they explore, they find, just like the seers, just like the sages, just like these great masters, they're also seeing realities which we all can realize, provided we find little time to even convert our physical body into a physical laboratory, a research center. You and I, we all can use this body to just, flit away our time, pass our time, live a very average life of survival instincts, and then die unsung, unheard. This is one possibility which happens to most people in the world. But there is also yet another very big possibility for you and I to explore in life. That is this body the only reality? Or there are many more bodies inside of us, which basically is manifested into my mind as consciousness and feelings in my body's language. It is a matter of how we explore this, how we are not going to get stuck only with the outer, only with the peripheral. And as you find, there you can't stop, because if you are an explorer, you have to explore what next. Is there anything beyond mind, my mental body? Yes, there is. If you go further down, according to these grace masters and seers and sages, they say that beyond the mental body, there is what is called as Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha is basically your psychic body. This is the place of your intelligence. And if it is polished properly, if it is cultured properly, if it is nurtured properly, if it is cared for properly, if it is worshipped properly, its intrinsic properties are properly manifested, it becomes a high state of intuition too. And then the great sages didn't even stop at that. They didn't even stop at the psychic body. They went farther deep down in order to see, is there anything more to see? Is there anything more to experience? They wanted to know the reality. They wanted to know the reality of the fountainhead of this whole process of life that is gushing forth. They wanted to go to the root of the fountain from where the life is flowing. They knew that physical body is only the external part of that fountain. But from where all this gushing energy, consciousness, vibrations, and frequencies are happening, from where? There has to be some root, there has to be some source. And they found that the source is not outside. They searched and searched and searched. They found that the source is not outside. They found that, like a musk deer, there was a time when they were searching outside. They found that the beautiful, enchanting fragrance is not from outside in the forest. They found that the musk deer, Kosturi Migo jeta bola, the musk deer, the navel has that particular very highly intoxicating, beautiful fragrant. And then that particular musk deer's musk is inside the deer. But the deer has been searching outside. So the sages and seers, they came inside to the deepest layer to find from where this fountain of life is gushing forth continually, non-stop. And they found that the even deeper from the Vijnanamaya Kosha is Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha is the spiritual body. It's a soul body. It's a blissful body. Up to this point, the sages could reach. Up to this point, the sages could reach and talk to us. The language, the word, the communication between that sage and the highest experience of Anandamaya Kosha, not the physical body, all other, everybody alike here, you all can experience only your physical body and your mental body. And when you know that you are breathing in and breathing out, maybe your vital body. But beyond that, You can't even have really perception about your psychic body or at the deepest level, your spiritual body. What I am trying to basically bring to all of your consciousness is this fundamental fact that we are essentially that spiritual being. Though we are continuously mistaking our physical body as our real true identity, but without that spiritual, without that Anandamay Kosha, the Annamay Kosha cannot function. Without Anandamay Kosha, the Jnanamay Kosha cannot function. Without Anandamay Kosha, the Manomay Kosha cannot function. Without Anandamay Kosha, even the Prana also doesn't work. So we have to be like a diver in order to find deep inside of us. This is why you find globally, all over the world, globally, gradually, with evolution of consciousness, you find more and more and more of people are coming into the path of yoga. Though they come to yoga, to the Hatha Yoga part, which is the physical part, the Annamaya Kosha part, but gradually as they get into the process of doing the physical yoga, maybe for physical fitness, for physical health, for physical beauty, for everything physical, but still the beauty is this: once you start worshipping even the outside, the peripheral self of yours, that's your body, even then, once the body cells are pleased, once they find a better environment to survive, they start to open up more possibilities for you to manifest the pranamaya kosha in yourself. As a result, your body's hormones are balanced properly, and as your hormones are balanced properly, if they are expressed, released properly, you find your mind also is changing. So yoga is gradually by physical yoga, you're finding that you are physically breathing in and out in a particular controlled fashion. You know 4, 16, 8, whatever the numbers you count, and you do it. As you do this physical part of the yoga, you find in a subtler level, you are finding the impact is happening. And from subtle state to the gross state, you find the manifestation of that deeper inner reality in expression. So what I was trying to share with you is that it is the spiritual self inside of us which is expressed in its material form, that quantum self within us, that ground of absolute potentiality, infinite potentiality, which our spirit is our foundation. If we are not conscious about that foundational existential being within us, if we are only focused outside and we are spending and investing all our energy only to enjoy the external part of life, forgetting the main life principle that exists inside of us, the main source of happiness, health, harmony, peace, joy, bliss, all from inside. Until unless we are realizing its prime importance, until unless we can gradually bring the right prioritization in our life, from the external to the internal, from the peripheral to the center within. Because without that center, there's no periphery. So the movement from periphery to the center, movement from outside to inside, movement from external to the internal is the process of this entire yogic sadhana. This yoga, this dhyana, this dharana, this pratyahara, this yama, this niyama, this asana, this pranayama, all of these 8 limbs that we are talking about till samadhi, till anyone reaches to the point of samadhi, that means beyond even dhyana. Dhyana is the 7th of the 8 stages out of the 8 limbs of the yoga. Rishi Patanjali tells us that you have to reach to the state of samadhi, where your mind is completely stilled to the point you even forget your time, space, dimension. So you are not localized in any one place at that particular point of time. You may be sitting and meditating in your own home, or you may be sitting and meditating in some caves in the Himalayas or any part of the world. But at a time when you are merged into that principle inside of you, that spiritual body that is your Anandamaya Kosha, you are so much enveloped with Ananda because you have gone into your Ananda self. Self is Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. Sat is the existence, Chit is the consciousness, and Ananda is that particular ultimate bliss that envelops all of existence. The whole existence, that's in samadhi, it is ultimate bliss, it is ultimate happiness, it is ultimate, it's not euphoric. It's not a drug-induced euphoria. It is not a drug-infused euphoria. That somebody can have some ganja or some hashish or some marijuana or these and that and experience some kind of euphoria. That you are not in this world, you are not in this body, everything disappears and you have gone into some fantasy world, into something, some wonderland. No, that is not it. Because that's not a reality. It is only a hallucination of your own mind projection in absolute illusion. So we are not talking about some experience of elusive potential being released and you are just staying in that particular phase of illusion for some time. Then you are back to this normal reality. Even a drug addict, as long as the drug is working the brain and the brain is functioning in that odd way of euphoric experiences, but once the drug is over and then gradually the person gets back to the normal world, and again the pain, again the mind's problems, again the psychological depression, again all those frustration, again all those painful experience of the past, they seem to all surface. Like a dragon, they come once again back and they again start to attack. But in true path of yoga, people get into all kinds of drugs. And I would say it's not only drugs. At this moment, what sparks in my mind is this: why we are only calling the people who are into drugs? Are we also not, I'm just talking about every one of us, are we also not working under the spell of a drug? And that drug is nothing but our helpless addiction to cling to our past memories and live every day in our mind, in our brain, with past associations. Can you live even for a few seconds without your association with the past? Can you completely detach yourself and live in a state where the past bitterness, experiences, anything that is painful, hurtful, difficult, not very pleasant to you, can you just detach yourself and come to a state where they cannot reach you out? No, you cannot do that, because you are like a drug addict. We are like drug addicts. We are addicted to our past patterns. This is like a drug addict. Drug addict is addicted to drug. All humans are addicted to their past kind of patterns. Somebody who is just, a person who gets very jittery, very angry for small reasons, gets into fits of anger, aggression, violence. Even if you tell beautiful words to that person, and that person would agree with you, and he will say, yes, I am also thinking that I want to give up my anger. I don't enjoy it at all. And I know how much bad it is for my body. I understand everything. But at that point of time, when somebody provokes my anger, when I see those negative things, I get into a burst of that particular furious energy inside of me, and that's not within my control. I am angry. Yes, that's exactly what happens with a drug addict. When the time comes for the drug to be taken, that time, that mind, that body goes into that and just has it. So let's also, in a way, try to understand. My only intention of sharing this comparison is because I deeply find most of us in this world are suffering not because the external situations and circumstances are not safe, not good, not happy. No, it's not because of that. It's only because we have not cultured, nurtured, we have not prioritized from early times to this time as to what exactly is the main purpose of human life, how we can really add the dimension of the true meaning of human life. What is the meaning of my human body? What is the meaning of my vital body? That means that this breath that I'm breathing and this whole universe filled with prana, this interaction between me, my breath, and the prana of the universe in the air, and I'm breathing the air inside of me. And then again, I'm just letting go. I'm releasing my inner air again back into the universe. This process of intake and then again, throwing it off back, this is a continual process. But we are not conscious about it. We are not conscious about our physical, we are not conscious about our vital, we are not conscious about our mental, we are not conscious about our psyche, we are not conscious about our spirit, soul, that existential self of ours. No wonder, because we are detached from the root. I would repeat, एक पेड़ जिसका जड़ से ही पेड़ जो है खत्म हो गया है, अगर अगर किसी पेड़ का जड़ ही खत्म हो जाए, जड़ से उसका जो एक संपर्क रहता है वही टूट जाए, तो क्या हो सकता है? If a tree, for some reason, its root is rot, if the root is gone, is damaged due to some reason, do you think that pear or that tree can exist? It's not possible. If you see a very healthy tree, you are absolutely sure that its roots are deep into the womb of earth, and it is able to take all the juice out and then spread it all over, and taking the environment, the sun, and the other elements of Mother Nature, it is just grown. So also we, if we can experience our roots deep through all the nerves that are running all over our body, and these nerves are running, and this is where the pranamaya kosha is active. So I was the other day, I was discussing that if you do not have control over your prana, if you do not start to worship your prana, if you do not start to adore, love, and create a companionship with your prana, that is your incoming and outgoing breath, if you don't live with your pranic body. How can you expect pranic healing to happen? Because if you want the pranic healing to happen, which will again manifest in your physical healing, once the prana is properly arranged inside our body, properly aligned inside our body, through our yoga, through our meditation, through our practices of the inner culture of the spirit of the bliss body, which is Anandamaya Kosha. It's a continual practice, because we have been living for a long time only repeating our past. We have become unfortunate robots. And we always, look for an answer how we can be happy, how we can be healthy. But how can you be happy? How can you be healthy if you only keep repeating your past, creating your same reality today and tomorrow? Same reality as was the yesterday, so is the today, so shall be tomorrow. How can you see a change? If you want a great change to happen in your life, if you want that your husband, your wife, your children, your family, everything should have a vibrant, harmonic vibrations of peace and joy, it just can't happen just out of a miracle of some sadhu walking into your home and doing some miracle. I have seen many such miracles happen, but they happen for a few days. They don't happen forever. And I know that my Gurudev once even told me that, look, those people who believe in these miracles, they don't usually find the right path. And I so much agree with this. I so much agree. Working with different kinds of devotees around the world, I have seen those devotees whose minds are more focused towards what kind of miracles his or her guru can do. I don't want to name any particular guru who is the master of miracles. I don't want to name that. But I have mixed with their devotees, I have mixed their followers, and I have seen they are only understanding their guru, they are only understanding God from all these so-called miracles happening in their individual and their family lives. And they say, you know what happened? And the other says, the same thing happened to me the other day. And that's how they are trying to understand that this is what the true reality is, but that's not it. That's a superficial reality you're talking about. The true miracle happens only when you have realized. The true miracle of miracles happen that day when you have realized that your pranamaya kosha holds the key to unlock manomaya kosha, to unlock vijnanamaya kosha, to unlock the anandamaya kosha. That's the miracle. What is the use of talking your guru's miracles? You are basically selling your guru. That's all you are very master at. It's of no use. Even the faith that happens is very temporary. It's very temporary. But of course, I will agree. If such miracles trigger this much in you, if such miracles can trigger this one miracle in you, in which you will suddenly stop, pause, ponder, and then you will do what is called as pratyahara. You will draw your senses from outside to inside into your prana, into your manas, and then you start to meditate to find the truth that is inside of you. Then the miracles of your guru has found some meaning in your life. Otherwise, it is simply useless. You are basically not advancing anywhere. So Anandamaya Kosha is our kind of for our physical world, physical being. That's our destination. That's where we want to reach. Because beyond Anandamaya Kosha is the Turiya, is the dimension beyond our mind intelligence. It's a state where you are completely one with the one. And of course, there is no language. Of course, there is nothing that person can say. The one who has gone into Turiya, that means that ultimate dimension beyond everything that the mind, that the intelligence, the spoken language, it transcends. In that ultimate transcendental state of Turiya, that's a different world altogether. And we cannot talk about it. None can talk about it. But down, the moment you come to the Anandamaya Kosha, your self, and then to your psychic body, to your mental body, to your pranic body, to your physical body, to the ultimate matter. So from subtlest part to the matter, if we do not take this journey seriously, don't you think the days are just coming and going, coming and going? And what are we all doing? Just ask yourself, what are we all doing? We are just repeating and repeating and repeating our past memories, experiences, and anything and everything that we have done in the past, we are doing it today. And you can be rest assured the eventual results will be very similar to what you have seen in the past. If you have been a person who had always been frustrated, you will have frustration tomorrow morning too. You can be rest assured. And I can even further assure you, if none of you, if anyone dies with deep frustration, it doesn't end with the death. It only continues. That means beyond death, that person carries in his mind that entire sanskara of frustrations and what we call as regrets and what we call as everything which is just unpleasant to that person. So you are still carrying it on. So the idea about which I'm trying to share with you is that every day God gives us one more day. Every morning when you wake up and you open your eyes, you see the same world. You can recognize everything in your room because you have been seeing it for so long. It's not the first time you are seeing it. You know what is where. Even with closed eyes, you can reach everything. You can go to the bathroom even with closed eyes. You can walk down without knowing that even you are walking. You can do the same things without even knowing because your brain will simply repeat and your body will just simply, like a machine, follow. It has nothing to do with any new experience for you. Nothing new will happen to you. Anybody can just push the button in the morning, and the morning could be the worst morning of all mornings because you have only been repeating the same pattern. So in order to live a new life, you have to create a new morning, and the new morning will come provided you are awake, available, accepting, and you know that this morning is absolutely new, absolutely fresh. It had never come before. It shall never come in the future again. This is one morning, unique, exclusive gift of God to me. And I want to just completely enjoy this, not in its outer, material, circumferential, peripheral reality, but I will just enjoy it from my bliss body. I will explore this from my bliss body. I'll experience the morning from my bliss body. That means from the Anandamaya Kosha, I'll see this morning. From the Pranamaya Kosha, I'll see this Sarvam Pranamayam Jagat. I'll see everything is the manifestation of Chinmayi Ma, the Divine Mother as sparks of prana. It's a new way of looking at things. It's a new way. You are firing new neurons into your brain for the first time, because your brain has only been adapted to what you have been seeing every day and cursing. Oh, the same stuff. I don't know how to take care of all this. Oh my goodness, I can't take it anymore. And life is so heavy on my shoulders. I don't know. This is going wrong. Oh, this is going from bad to worse. Who's going to change? Who is going to do the miracle for you? Tell me. If you complain and complain and complain as to what is wrong outside your home, in the world, who will mend your mind, which is the source of problem? Your mind, which is an illusion. Your mind, which is completely conditioned to live that conditioned past memories again and again and again without exploring a new set of brain patterns to see a new life. If you don't rise up to that, who else will do it for you? You eat and you digest. Your body survives. How can somebody else be happy for you? If somebody else is happy, that doesn't in any way has any long-term bearing with you. Maybe temporarily you can just enjoy a happy man's company. But back to yourself, you are you with your own patterns, with your own package, with your own negativity, with your own attitude, with your own particular fashion of and the life and your makeup. So please, today this is the essence. What we are trying to come to is that the essence is very simple. You are not what you think you are. Others are not what you think others are. Because every such perceptions are conditional perceptions. You have conditioned it. And your conditions are exclusively your condition according to your perception, according to your experience, all in the past. From earliest childhood, the way you looked at the world, the way you spent with your parents, the way you spent with your priests, the way you spent with your own peers, neighbors, your family, your friends, your colleagues, everybody has been into your brain and you have interpreted and made your own condition, and you made that package which is you, your personality, your persona, your mask. And that's not you. Your mask is not you. In order to see who I am, I need to start breathing consciously. I need to feel my prana. I need to stop living only in the past and create the same past as today and future. And each one of us all have one common desire. We want to be healthy, we want to be happy, and we want to see all who are in this world happy and healthy. We want to see Mother Earth happy and healthy. We want to see the outer environment happy and healthy. And it cannot happen. Now I end my talk today with this word. The outer environment can never be healthy and happy until unless our inner environment is healthy and happy. This inner environment of our physical body, our vital body, our mental body, our psychic body, our bliss body, all of it put together, they have to be properly aligned. They have to be properly aligned. They have to find that environment to blossom like a lotus from the mud. Its stem is in the mud. So also we can be in the midst of all this negativity all around us, however ugly they may be, with all the ugliness of what you see in the world, unfairness, injustice, exploitation. What do you see outside? It's like the mud, but still you can blossom like a lotus, provided you connect to your spirit inside. Through your regular practice of your prayers, through your regular practice of karma yoga, through your regular practice of bhakti yoga, through your regular practice of jnana yoga, through your practice of your synthesis of all yogas, coming into your life and blossoming your spiritual self, so that you, I, we can reflect the divinity, which is the only reality. So with this word, I take a leave of you today, and tomorrow one question before I go, I want to take that. Madeline, she's asking a question. As Annamaya Kosha supports the other koshas, is there any interdependency between Anandamaya Kosha and the kosha below it? Yes, Madeline, let us see it all as interwoven, interdependent, interconnected. Because you know the whole existence, the whole of the cosmic process of creation, preservation, and again annihilation as a cycle, it all depends on the fundamental law of what? Interconnection, interdependence. It's all interwoven together. You are nobody without your pranamaya kosha. You are nobody without your anandamaya kosha. You are nobody without your vijnanamaya kosha. Each of these koshas are interwoven into it, but yet separate from it. And obviously, your annamaya kosha, because you are a body, physical body, and the body is food, and the food is body. So the annamaya kosha becomes very important to you. That how, but then this annamaya kosha can even survive without food. Yogis survive without food for ages, maybe for centuries, just by taking prana as their food. They are in deep samadhi, and only through the prana they are breathing. There's the subtle force, the vital force, which is the essence of all existence. They are able to, from the air, they are able to take only the prana into their body, so that every cell survives in its perfect harmony, perfect health. And there's no food, not even a leaf. Each are connected to the other, but one thing is final. It is the Anandamaya Kosha. It is our spiritual body, which is our spiritual self, that quantum which holds all other bodies, which hold all other universes, which holds all other manifestations. Without that principle, foundational, existential beingness, nothing is there. So obviously they are all very, very deeply interconnected, but none of us can have even the faintest perception of these different bodies working together in perfect harmony. At any point of time, you cannot do anything without your deepest connection to your spiritual being. Whether you know it or not, you cannot function without your spiritual being. Whether you know it or not, you cannot function without your pranic being. So each of these is functioning in its own place without our knowledge. Just as I eat, but how the digestion happens, I do not know. How the heart beats, I do not know. How my brain is functioning with trillions of data being processed, I do not know. But it's happening. It's happening. So also these different layers of life, we are simultaneously living this. Please try to understand this. We are simultaneously living this life of these 5 layers of this Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. All these koshas we are living together, not in separate, isolated way, but we are unconscious about it. And for all of you to once again reaffirm, reconfirm, this is the essence. We are coming at the end now. For all of us to take away, what are you going to take away out of today's 1 hour of thousands of words spoken, in 1 hour? What are we going to take away? Our takeaway is this, very simple. That all these koshas are working in perfect harmony and we do not know. But our life's mission, one single mission of our life, is to know how they are functioning in such symphony. Because the day we will be able to go into each of these layers and explore and find and see, imagine the miracle that is life, and imagine what bliss would flood in every cell of your body. Imagine in samadhi what can happen vis-a-vis all the experiences of the material world, of your tinsel pleasures and bulk of frustrations. Your tinsel pleasures of your so-called relationships, which just breaks in a few seconds' time. But your relationship to your spirit never breaks. You cannot break it because it is eternal. Existence is eternal. Your body breaks, but your existence remains intact. So you are a continual process of that manifestation. So with these words, I want you all to reaffirm in your mind that I am a spiritual being who have come into this world of matter, my physical body. And this physical body, however I try my best, it will keep on changing. I cannot keep it young, beautiful, super fit damsel. No way. Nobody could do it. I cannot do it. A day will come when it will decay and die. So before that happens, before that certainty happens, we have to spend time every day to reach to our final destination of who we truly are in this particular materialistic world. Are we matter or are we energy? Are we consciousness? Are we matter or are we energy? Are we consciousness? Are we matter or are we energy? Or are we consciousness? Let's ponder, let's meditate, and let's get deep into it so that our life finds its fulfillment and ultimate meaning. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.